Hello, hello, hello! Welcome, welcome, welcome. How cool is this? How cool is this? You know, it's true what they say. You can take a person out of Bandra, but you cannot take Bandra out of the person. We've seen that over the last lifetime, and we've certainly seen that over the last 6 days. People from all over the world, from continents all across the globe, connecting. And there's one commonality, Bandra. How cool is that? How cool is Bandra? You know, they say that Bandra is not a suburb, it's a feeling. And we all validate and vouch for that. Bandra is a feeling, and a damn good one at that. Where else can you say putru man and actually understand what the guy means? I mean, really, that's pretty cool, isn't it? Where else do you see a guy and a gal deeply in love and say they're friendly? Where else do you see guys and gals vying for the king and queen contest at the local fete? I think that's really cool. Where else do you see women called chicks and guys called buggers? It has to be Bandra. Well, I'm Brian Tellis. I'm your host for day 7 of a really, really precious project, a Very Bandra Christmas. Brilliant project. We're coming to you live on Facebook. We're coming to you live on YouTube. Get your friends and family, your neighbors' friends and families online. We're going to have some fun. We've been having tons of fun over the last 6, and we're going to have tons of fun over the next 6. Okay? I'm delighted to be here. I truly am, and that one comes from my heart. I'm truly delighted to be celebrating my home, celebrating the suburb I grew up in and live in to date, and hopefully will live in for the rest of my life. And very importantly, celebrating a suburb that's very close to my heart. Okay, Bandra, in case you didn't figure it. Okay, first up, I'm going to refer to my notes. First up, for today, we have an old dear friend of mine, actually, Rajiv Raja, who carved a really wonderful creative name for himself in the world of advertising. Obviously, he packs a lot more punch than just regular advertising. I believe he comes from a lineage of fantastic singers and musicians. And of course, he takes it to another level. We all know Rajiv Raja is a brilliant flautist, besides being a wonderful person. And he gets together in this Rajiv Raja combine with his band members. There's Hitesh on guitar. There's JD on bass, Vinayak on tabla to present the popular carol We Three Kings, but with a twist. You know, Rajiv says every year he tries to interpret a carol for the Bandra community in a fun way, in a different way. Well, you know what? Thank you very, very much, Rajiv. Someone, while I was, discussing this act earlier, said, Rajiv Raja. Raja means king, and he's got 3 more kings with him, so it should be we 4 kings, not we 3 kings. But besides my poor sense of humor, there's some great music coming at us. I'm also told that while there are 4 musicians on the gig, you will only see 2. We'll figure that out as we go along. Let's give it a listen. A great start to the 7th evening of a Very Bandra Christmas. Let it roll. Come on. Let's make some noise. Man, every single time you see Rajiv Raja and the Rajiv Raja combined, they raise the bar. And of course, over the last 6 days, for those of you who've watched the show, you'd have seen his daughter as well, Rohini Raja, singing a couple of times actually. Fantastic. Talk about pedigree and talk about family talent. Wonderful. Speaking of connecting with people, which the Rajas certainly do, we've got some shout outs. A very special and heartfelt one I want to send out to Jocelyn De Silva and Melissa in Perth for being absolute superstars. Man, more power, more strength to y'all. Right? Jocelyn, Melissa, God bless you guys. Yeah. Absolutely. Shirley and Philomena Coutinho, who live near Chimbai. Hope you guys are doing well as well. Happy anniversary to Noella and Jonathan from Clement and family. If you live in Bandra and you have some extra dinner available tonight, give us a shout out. We'll be there. A shout out to Father Gordon Daniels. Father Gordon Daniels, thank you for watching every day and keeping our team in good cheer. Thank you very, very much. So those are a few shout outs. It's time, how do I say this right? It's time to reminisce a little bit. Think about the days gone by. Put a smile on heart, put a smile on soul. And to do all of this, we have Bandra girl, Aisha Marie, now in Maryland. Of course, that's one corner of the universe. And from the opposite corner of the universe, from Australia, we have Preeti Braganza. So let's catch them as they remember and reminisce about days from when they were back home. Aisha and Preeti.
Hi all, this is Anisha Reminiscing. I used to live around the Almeida Park in Serenity on the 9th Road. I belong to St. Peter's Parish and I've been out of the country for almost 20 years. I have spent most of it in Victoria, BC, and now I am in Maryland, United States. I miss everything about being in India for Christmas. There is nothing like a Christmas in Bandra.
My name is Preeti Braganza. This is Laila, my youngest of 3. I've lived in Melbourne for 20 years and I've been home for the last 20 years for Christmas. I miss walking jet-lagged past John's house. I miss going to St. Peter's Church and knowing Auntie Alcina will sit 3 rows in front of me. I miss walking to Pali Market and bumping into Budi or Lala and screaming out in the traffic. I miss modern stores and all the hustle and bustle, and I miss coming home to my sister and gossiping about who I met, some nice, some maybe not. I miss my mum's disapproving eyes at us, the idea of us gossiping. I miss going to Savio's salon with all the expats coming back in trade knowing it's Christmas. I miss hearing Shalini's voice knowing that St. Peter's Colony is having their carol singing. I miss having a drink with Ajay. I miss visiting Uncle Trevor and all my relatives. I miss seeing people like Chika and Susie on their scooters through the traffic screeching out. I miss my walks at bandstand. I miss Pratna Laya. I miss my cousins. But most of all, I miss my mum.
Things I miss most about Christmases in Bandra are a sense of community. It's not just the Christians that celebrate Christmas in Bandra, it's everyone. It's just the most magical time of the year over there. The streets are lit up with stars and lights, and there's a hustle and bustle everywhere. The stores are full of Christmas decorations, and it's just beautiful. Here's wishing my family and friends back home a very Merry Christmas and a Happy New Year. Stay safe, everyone.
My wish is that everyone stays home and stays safe, and that we all get to be back home whenever we can with whoever we want to be with. and that I can come back home soon.
Oh man, how special was that? How special was that? Anisha and Preeti, two Bandra girls, like I said, now living in two different corners of the world. Reminiscing, man, that's really incredible. I was chatting with someone earlier this evening about reminiscing, about the things we used to do in the years gone by. And he said, what days we took out, what things we did. That aside. A couple of stories, I'm sure many of you went out carol singing. We used to go out carol singing until very recently, actually. A few years ago, we went out carol singing. We were in Pali village and auntie came out with, what's it called? Garafao, full of kimad. I'm a teetotaler, and you'd better believe me. Of course, we used to go to Chimbai carol singing as well. And I wonder why. As we entered Chimbai, all the tenors and basses disappeared for a while. And when they came back, they sang louder than they were singing earlier. They drowned out the altos and the sopranos. And they were happier than all of us were. I wonder why. Need to figure that one out. But while we're figuring that out, we've got some special shout outs. It's wedding anniversary for Travis and Roshan. Travis and Roshan, hey, here's wishing you guys many, 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 many more happy years of marriage. Yes. Give them a round of applause. Hey, keeping marriages together is a task these days, yeah? And they've done well, seemingly. Oh, Nikki Herbert from Maryland is online. For those of you who don't know, Nicole is someone I helped strengthen her prayer life. Don't laugh, guys. Don't laugh. It's a fact. I helped her strengthen her prayer life. And for those of you who know Nikki, call her and she'll validate what I just said. Nikki, good to see you online. Okay. Crispin Fernandez, I think I remember you from back in the day. A Bandra boy who's now hanging out in New York. Jacqueline Almeida Varma, Cuff Parade. Hey, Jacqueline. And there's Priya Raskina, another lady we know very well who's in New York. So great stuff. Lots of people joining us. Also joining us with his guitar in hand very, very soon is Douglas Mesquita. He's a published novelist. That's wonderful. And of course, a hobby musician and does a great, great job of his hobby, who chose to sing Run, Rudolph, Run because it's a catchy rock and roll tune. And hey, rock and roll works, ask me. This song is sure to get all of you viewers kind of bobbing your heads and, take my advice, get up and dance with the person next to you. Dance with your wife, dance with your neighbor's wife. Hey, we don't care. Let's take it in. We've got Douglas Mesquita. Let it roll.
Hold it
Run, run, Rudolph. Douglas Mosquito. I can't hear the applause. I can't hear the applause. Oh, rock and roller he is. And here's a little secret. He lives in the colony I live in. So he's a fun guy to hang around. Douglas, great stuff, man. Great stuff. Okay, talking about rock and roll, back in the day in Bandra, if you wanted to propose to the lady, you had to have two qualities. You had to come from a good family, whatever that meant. I don't know whether it meant Goan to Goan or Mangalorean to Mangalorean or East Indian to East Indian. I have no clue what good family meant. And the other qualification was you needed to be a good dancer, especially a good jiver. Really don't know how I got my wife to say yes. Anyway, that's another story. We've got some shout outs and some special ones. We've got Bevinda Pinto from Goa. Hey, Bevinda. I love Bandra, but I would have liked to be in Goa sooner than later, hopefully. Here's a very special shout out. Nisha and Mikhail from Dubai. A special shout out also to their son Kyle. Here's the deal, man. Here's the deal. Kyle, after a month of being born, contracted cancer, but he has fought it. He has fought it, and he's out of it. Yeah, go Kyle. Go Kyle. I don't know how else to say it. What a great story. What a wonderful story. Okay, attention Preeti, shout out to Vampy. Whatever that means. Whatever that means. Okay, next, again, I'm going to refer to a sheet. Coming up, we have Sophie Collet, a French national settled in India. And happily so, I might add. Bandra, in fact, for almost 10 years she's been here. She loves living in Bandra, surprise, surprise, which she considers home, surprise, surprise. Today, importantly, she will teach us how to make chicken liver pate, a Bandra version of the French foie gras. I hope I got that right. Bon appetit. I hand over to Sophie Collet. All yours, Sophie.
Hi, my name is Sophie and I live in Bandra, so thank you for inviting me to do this. So I'm going to introduce a recipe of chicken liver pate. So for this recipe we are going to need 500 grams chicken liver, 2 diced onions, a little bit of butter, some neutral oil, some cognac, or if you don't have cognac you can use brandy, it works like wonderfully. Some fresh cream, some dried thyme, salt, actually pepper also, and ghee. So we are going to add a little bit of oil in the pan. So when the oil is hot, add a little bit of butter also, like I would say approximately 10 grams. And the fact that you mix oil and butter will prevent the butter from becoming black, but still it will bring some flavor. And I'll add the onions. So when the onions are slightly starting to becoming golden, you can add the chicken livers. And then we'll mix that. Some salt. This is to taste. We'll add some dry thyme. So this is 1 full spoon. I think we can add 1 more. And we will leave it for cooking for approximately 5 minutes on medium gas. So now comes the fun part, because we'll add the cognac. So since I made half kilo, like we can be also like generous with the cognac. This is 60 ml. So if your pan is really hot, it will flambe. I think mine isn't, because actually after like 2-3 minutes of cooking on medium gas, I reduced the gas on low, because I saw that the livers were getting cooked. So a way to know that the livers are cooked is that they should not be red anymore inside. Slightly pink, I don't know if you see, will work. Yeah, we see a little bit of pink. That's okay, but all the red should have disappeared. So I've added the cognac, And now I will add, this is the last step, some fresh cream. So again, forgive me because I'm never like measuring. So, but I would say this is approximately half of the packet. So this is 250 ml, so approximately 120, something like that. You mix it, and basically the idea is that all the livers and the onions should be coated in the cream, and it should form a little bit of a sauce like this. And we're just going to let it simmer for 1 more minute, 1 or 2 maximum. So the chicken livers have cooked, like there is all this cream and cognac coating now, like forming a nice little gravy. So I've poured the whole thing in this big salad glass bowl, and now we're just going to mix it with the arm mixer. Okay. So we're just going to mix the pate. Okay, so as you saw, it's not too difficult, and we've already reached the end of the recipe. So now we're going to put some of this pate in containers, and for the conservation, we're going to add a very thin layer of ghee on top, which is going to prevent the pate to get oxidized and turn brown and slightly change taste. And it has to sit at least a few hours in the fridge. What I recommend is to make it the day before. And after that, like if you don't open it, like it can be kept easily 4 to 5 days in your fridge, no problem. Well, I hope you like it. Thanks.
Oh, that was Sophie Collet. I'm a really, really good cook, and I endorse everything she said. Honestly, Sophie, thank you so much for all of that. Je ne parle pas français, but merci beaucoup. I think I got that right. Sophie, thank you very, very much. A few more shout outs. We've got people from all over the globe, man. There's Luella Fernandez from Doha. There's Agila Langford from Israel. Lalita Fernandez from NYC. And Ratan Sikwera from London. I believe Ratan is Aisha's brother, from what the ladies in the house tell me. Hey, Ratan, how you doing? Trust you're doing well. Okay, time to move on. We've got an old friend coming up. An old friend of mine, Parvin Verma. Haven't seen or met her in a little while, but is she wonderful or is she wonderful? She's up next with The Blessing. The Blessing, for those of you who aren't aware, and I wasn't until this evening, a song based on the Aaronic Blessing from Elevation Church that has been since recorded by groups, I'm told, across the world, in multiple languages, of course, especially through this pandemic. And here's the big one. I'm told that this song has just been nominated for a Grammy. On a slightly more serious note, Pavan, we just want to send out huge, huge hugs and love to you. I believe you've lost your father recently, Dr. Varki, who is so respected and loved all over. So, be strong, Pavan. Like I said, huge love and hugs. I'm going to hand over center stage to you, and very happily so.
Hi, my name is Parvin Verma, and I'm so happy to share with you the story of our Blessings Wall. So in 2009, 3 generations of my father's family came together for a family reunion. And we realized we were too many of us to go to church for midnight service, so we decided to have our own Thanksgiving service here at home. And each one of us wrote down on a post-it the things that we had been thankful for in the year, and we put it up in the shape of a Christmas tree here, and we called it our Blessings Tree. And the post-it stayed on the wall through 2010, and then everyone came back the next year and the year after, and over 10 years, our Blessings Tree became this Blessings Wall. It's a wall we have come back to time and time again to revisit the blessings of the past, remember family members who have left us, and see how we, especially our youngsters, have grown over the years. I guess a reminder that no matter what storms, joys, grief, and loss we have faced, we found so much to be thankful for. And so often it was in the very storms we faced that we discovered new treasures of strength, hope, faith, and God's enduring goodness and love. I'd like to end by singing a song called The Blessing, which captures the essence of our wall. Lord bless you and keep you, make His face shine upon you and be gracious to you. Lord, turn His face towards you
and give you peace. Amen. Amen. May His favor be upon you and 1,000 generations, and your family, and your children, and their children, and their children. May His favor be upon you and 1,000 generations, and your family, and your children, and their children. He is for you.
Oh, man, Pawan, you just get better with time. Fantastic, Pawan. Fantastic. Huge love, like I said, to you and to Ajit. Trust you guys are good, are happy, are rocking. I'm sure you are, actually. I'm sure you all are. Okay, a few more shout-outs. Bianca Rosemar, Bandra. Hey, Bianca. Love, 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 love. Sonia Rodriguez Perez, Australia. Sheila Pereira, our very own Sheila Pereira. Bandra Sheila, tons of love. Fabian Peter de Lima, huge shout out to you. Yvonne Rodriguez from Santa Cruz, side of Bandra. Love you, Yvonne. Okay, time to move on. And having said that, when you talk about Bandra, there's one thing that comes to mind. When you talk performing arts, at least, it's the zonals. And for those of us who aren't aware, the zonals actually started about 6.5 decades ago. And now, of course, is an all Bandra thingy and has everything from vocals to instrumental to chorals to dance to theater, of course, a whole load of stuff, elocution as well. And over the years, there are plenty of people who've regaled audiences on that stage. There's one person that I can remember very, very clearly wearing 3, if not more than 3 hats. Well, a wonderful singer. She went on to becoming a choir conductor and did a great job. Obviously very talented, very versatile. I speak of Reyna Braganza, a Bandra girl, who also plays the piano and the accordion and is an accomplished, catch this, Bharatnatyam and folk dancer. That is disgusting. How can you be so many things rolled into one, Reyna? Not allowed. For today, we're going to allow you to show off your talent, and happily so, I must add. Hey, catch this, multi-talented musician who's now going to dance for us, Reyna Braganza.
Christmas is here, bringing good cheer to young and old, meek and the bold. Ding dong, ding dong, that is the song with joyful ring. All caroling, one seems to hear words of good cheer from everywhere, filling the air. Oh, how they pound, raising their sound, o'er hill and dale, telling their tales. While people sing songs of good cheer, Christmas is here. Very, very merry, merry Christmas. Merry, 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 merry Christmas. On they send on without end their joyful tone to everyone.
Magical Reyna Braganza, or should I be saying disgusting again? Fantastic. And I hope wherever you are, all your people who are tuned in, that you're giving a huge, huge, huge appreciation. Okay, I've got 2 more shout outs to the one and only Parul Menezes. Parul. Where are you? Which corner of the world are you? You're always traveling. We trust you're happy wherever you are. Tons of love from us. Sandra Nielsen. I think, Sandra, you're in Germany, right? I'm not too sure. But wherever you are, whichever part of the globe you are in, huge love from all of us in Bandra. Okay, it's time to kind of throw a few questions at you. We've got some great prizes. I won't give you her name. But if you get it right, you need to kind of type in your answers really quickly. Or I won't give you their names. Okay, my first question. How many kalkals in a kilo? Yeah, you heard me right. How many kalkals in a kilo? I promise they're all intelligent questions like that one. Okay. What is the cost of 1 kilo of almonds at modern stores? And if you ask where's modern stores, go to Lokhandwala, okay? How much does 1 kilo of almonds cost at modern stores? Okay, question number 3. What time was midnight mass at St. Andrew's last Christmas? I'm going to repeat that because it's a really complicated question. What time was midnight mass at St. Andrew's last Christmas? Oh man. I mean, really. What is the name of the lady who helps control traffic at the Holy Family Junction? This is a really tough one. What is the name of the lady who helps control traffic at the Holy Family Junction? And our 5th question, which Bandra auntie sells the best marzipan? Send in your answers really quickly because I said the prize is really pretty. Okay, so send us your answers really quickly to our 5 questions. Okay. Time to move on. Storytelling time. We have Karen Pereira Gomez, who I'm told was made in Bandra, but now lives in Japan. She quickly realized, of course, to her benefit, that the eclectic East could not take Bandra West out of her. This is her reminiscing from Tokyo with love to all of us in Bandra.
Hello Bandra. I suppose I am an exception to the NRI community since I faithfully make it home to Bandra each year for Christmas. There's something about Bandra and her lovely traditions that bring me back each year. And since this year will be different, well, let's just take a trip down memory lane. As a teenager, Christmas came as early as October. That's because all choir rehearsals, be they for the Festival of Festive and Sacred Music, or Father Charles's Midnight Mass Theresian Choir, or other carol singing sessions began around that time. While these rehearsals kept us, made our lives a bit hectic, not singing for them was unthinkable. It was a part of our lives. And oh, the carol singing. As we followed the truck into the 4 zones of the parish, stopping at street corners and doorsteps. I even recall driving with Santa on a moving truck. Those were the days. Then the Christmas Novena, the grand midnight mass in the outdoors, followed by the wishing of everyone afterward, which could extend to a cool couple of hours. And then there were the sweets. Marzipan, milk cream, guava cheese, date rolls, tartlets, kalkals, the list was endless. And Mom, who took great pride in our East Indian heritage of sweet making, would be horrified if chocolate chip cookies dared appear alongside her real classical sweets. Remember stirring for hours that bubbling mixture over fire until that miraculous moment when the marzipan was proclaimed set and ready for molding? These are sweets, the real kinds. Mom would inform us and we would all nod appropriately. And Christmas morning would see all of us run to and fro distributing sweets to all and sundry. The Bandra Gym is a part of all of this, right from the Christmas tree we attended as kids up to the Christmas dance. In those days, Willingdon Gym was a strong contender, but to the Bandra buggers, Bandra Gym always won. And the Christmas Bazaar was all about going to catch up with the relatives and friends who also gravitated towards Bandra for the holidays. Over the years, much has changed, but that spirit of festivity, bonding and prayer still remains tangible today. And Mom has long since succumbed to the commercialization of Christmas and today grudgingly permits Costco-bought muffins and brownies to be placed alongside her real sweets. Truly, Christmas in Bandra is like no other, and how blessed are we to have had that. And as they say in Japanese, arigato gozaimashita and sayonara.
Arigato. What was that? Same to you. Yeah? Same to you, Karen Pereira. Thank you so much for sharing, all that information and skills with us. Time to move on. It's a Very Bandra Christmas, day 7. I'm Brian, and we're having tons of fun. We trust you are having tons of fun as well. Yeah. And the fun quotient is going to lift a bit because we have Trevor Furtado coming up next. Now, if you don't know Trevor Furtado, kneel down, face the wall, and don't wake up. Don't get up, okay? Because everyone knows Trevor Furtado. Everyone knows, in case you didn't hear me the last time, everyone knows Trevor Furtado for very many reasons, primarily for his music. A gentle bit of advice. Don't let him anywhere near your grandmother. Don't laugh. Don't let him anywhere near your grandmother. The name of his song is Grandma Got Run Over by a Reindeer. Obviously, he's a very strong family man. Take it away, Trevor.
Grandma got run over by a reindeer, walking home from my house Christmas Eve. You can say there's no such thing as Santa, but as for me and Grandpa, we believe she's been drinking too much enough, and we begged her not to go, but she forgot her medication as she staggered out the door into the snow. When we found her Christmas morning at the scene of the attack, she had footprints on her forehead and incriminating gloss marks on her back. Grandma got run over by a reindeer, walking home from our house Christmas Eve. You can say there's no such thing as Santa, but as for me and Grandpa, we believe. Now the goose is on the table, and the pudding's made of pink, and the blue and silver candles that would just have matched the hair in Grandma's wig. I have warned all my friends and neighbors, better watch out for yourselves. They should never give a license to a man who drives a sleigh and plays with elves. Grandma got run over by a reindeer, walking home from my house Christmas Eve. You can say there's no such thing as Santa, but as for me and Grandpa, we believe. Grandma got run over by a reindeer, walking home from my house Christmas Eve. You can say there's no such thing as Santa, but as for me and Grandpa, we believe. Merry Christmas, all you Bandra buggers. Have a good night.
Same to you, man, Bandra bugger. Trevor. What songs he takes out, and this was too much. Trevor, thank you very much, man, for being the fun guy you are, for being sporting, for singing for us, not just on this very special Bandra Christmas, but we catch a whole load of your videos, on YouTube all the time. Thank you for who you are. Okay, time to move on. We've got loads of people who've answered questions. How many kalkals in a kilo? 784. Lala. Bang on, Lala. Bang on. It was actually 783 and a half, but we'll give you the prize. She's way taller than you, incidentally. Madeline Fialo says none. She ate them all. Madeline, take a look in the mirror, Madeline. Now. Okay, what is the cost of 1 kilo of almonds? What is the cost of 1 kilo of almonds at modern store? Nawaz Dikru says 1,400 rupees. 1,398, Nawaz. You got that wrong. What time was midnight mass at St. Andrews last Christmas? Ryan DeMonte, 10:30 p.m. Ryan, you get the prize. You get all the prizes. They come in different heights, different names, but I'm sure you won't complain. What is the name of the lady who helps control traffic at the Holy Family Junction? Everyone got this right. Everyone got this right. Anita Lobo. God bless her. May we have many more Anitas. Okay, final question was, which Bandra auntie sells the best marzipan? The jury is out. Okay, so we've got all our prizes lined up. Tomorrow morning at 10:30, you want to stand outside St. Andrew's Church and all the prizes will be lined up alongside, okay? So congratulations to all our winners. You've really been wonderful. Okay, time to move on. Next part of our show is do it yourself. This do it yourself video is definitely one that will, how should I say, see you through this Christmas. Meet Adele Drago. Again, one of our favorites. Someone was telling me earlier this evening that she is the bouncer of the pack, right? She's the lady who said, if anyone messes with our elves, I'll mess them up in a back alley or something like that. That's Adele for you, man. She's out there saying and doing her thing. And this evening is exactly the same thing. Unique Snowball tea lights with white cement. Whatever that means. Okay. Which are perfect, I'm told, for table accent or garden decor, barring snowball fights. She lives across the wall from where I am, or she used to, and all those broken window panes in our colony was thanks to her. She's a wonderful person. Don't mess with her. Take a look.
Hi, so to make your snowballs in Mumbai, what you're going to require is some regular balloons, a balloon pump if you don't wish to use your own wind power, some medical gauze which looks like this. This is just to help the snowball maintain its structure and to make it less brittle. White cement of any kind, a mixing bowl, and regular water. Some jars or glasses, whatever you choose, in order to help your balloon stand firm while working. For later, you will require some glitter. Any colors you choose is fine, as per your preference. So once your setup is ready like this with the balloon on your stand, you will need to cover the balloon with the gauze. To make it easier, you can wet the gauze and this will help it to hold tight to the balloon, making it easier for you, of course, to cover all the sides. Mix your white cement into a consistency that's not too runny. I would say this is a little runny, so I'm going to add some more cement. Now, after about 12 to 16 hours, this is what your snowballs will look like, all nice and firm and dry. It's going to be easy enough to take it off the jar. Just use a little pressure at the neck of the jar or the glass, which will be like the base of your snowball. Burst the balloon and remove all its parts from the inside. Otherwise, you may set a fire when you're using your tea lights, okay? You can use a scissors to neaten the edges as per your preference. I like an uneven edge, but you can clean it out as much as you like. The opening needs to be just enough to allow you to access the inside, but when you flip it over, it looks round. Now for the really fun part, you can even get your kids to help out with this, is the inside finish. Get a runny consistency of Fevicol and water. Select your glitter. I have chosen to use a reflective rainbow dust that just enhances the candlelight once it's inside. You could use green, gold, red, Christmas colors, whatever your choice. Take your snowball and liberally coat the inside. As you can see, with my snowball surface, I've chosen to keep it uneven. This is just something that I like. If you wish to have a very smooth surface on your snowball, once the first initial stage is dry, do a runny coat of white cement over it and leave it to stand for another 8 to 12 hours. Throw in your glitter and roll it all around, making sure that all the parts are covered. Now, should you choose to leave the inside of your snowball a very natural look, that's also fine. It's a very personal preference. Don't worry, if the edges have cracks and stuff. because this allows the candlelight to pass through, and it gives a very beautiful effect if the tea light is inside. And when you flip it over, it's not visible. Once you finish with all the snowballs that you've made, you can use them in any kind of arrangement. Inside the house, outside the house, in your garden, terrace, your pots. I've chosen to show you a table decor arrangement. The preference is yours once again. Have a Merry Christmas and wish you all the joy and blessings of the season.
That was the incredible Adele Drago. Cement snowballs. Really, Adele? Cement snowballs? I love you even more than I did before that little bit. Love you too much. Okay, we've got shout-outs. Narissa Brito from Mahim, or should I be saying Mame? Narissa Brito from Mame. We love your brother Nigel. Everyone in the room unanimously told me to say that. We love your brother Nigel. Melanie Dougal, we love not only your singing but your dancing as well. Melanie, hey. Father Austin Norris, hey, good old Bandra boy, Father Austin. We believe you're watching. A huge hello from all of us. And of course, Fawzia Maria Beg from Germany. That's another incredible family. All of you must know her brother Asif Ali Beg. And I had the good fortune of doing musicals back in the day. I won't tell you which year because I'll give away my tender age. But Nasser and me did musicals back in 1985. Ooh, wonderful family. Hey, Fawzia, so glad to see that you're tuned in. Okay, we're going to staple diet of a very Bandra Christmas. I say staple diet. We've seen them before at least 33 times. Not just on this show. The lovely Saldanas. Woo! Minette, Marion, Francesca, along with brother Kiran, they kind of sum up the Saldana family. And thanks to Mum Shirley and Uncle Stan, or the dad Stan, watching us now from up there. Uncle Stan, fantastic person. Music has always run in the family. I must also add that we've got Cecil. Talk about music pedigree. There's Cecil in the lineup as well. And Cecil comes from a family with music pedigree, to say the least. There's Aunt Ivy, who taught half of Bandra all about music. There's Celeste, her daughter, who taught the other half of Bandra. And their late brother Cozy, who was fantastic. And of course, there's Cecil. So some wonderful stuff to look forward to. The Saldana family, along with Cecil and a few others. Take a listen.
Loving the
The wonderful Saldana family, Cecil and Chris as well, joining them, like I said. Fantastic. Bless you guys. Bless you guys. Wonderful, wonderful rendition. Okay, I've got a few more shout outs. Hey, Reyna, Farais, Vaz, Reyna, how you doing? How is Bangalore treating you? Trust all happy and well. Karen Castellino, naughty Karen. Karen asks, who is Trevor? Karen, kneel down, face the wall, and don't get up till next Christmas. Okay? Okay. Dominic and Luella from Bahrain. Hello, right back at you. Tons of love from all of us here in Bandra. Eat your heart out, eat your heart out. Okay, time to move on. And this is a really wonderful, soulful part of a very special Bandra Christmas. And we have someone really precious joining us now. We have Father Gerard, the parish priest of St. Peter's. And he's going to lead us in prayer. I trust you have your candle with you like every evening. And if you can, light it really quickly. We're going to have Father Gerard join us in prayer. A very special part of this evening. We'd like for all of you to settle down a little bit and take this in.
There is a neighbor who's deliberately trying to make life difficult for you. And yet you decide this year to give this neighbor some of your best sweets. What made you decide to do this? They say a tree is known by its fruit. A good tree produces good fruit. It is out of the goodness of your heart that you decide to do good. There was a deer and a scorpion was drowning in the water. So the deer on the banks would reach out its paw to try to save the scorpion. And every time it put out its paw to save the scorpion would sting it. And finally the deer saved the scorpion. Now, monkey was watching this whole thing and came up to the deer and said, "You're a stupid fellow. You are trying to save the scorpion and the scorpion is stinging you." And the deer said, "My dear monkey, the nature of a scorpion is to sting, but the nature of us deers is to spread goodness and cheer everywhere." Santa Claus, Saint Nicholas, wherever he went, he spread goodness, and he did it quietly. 2,000 years back, a child was born, a babe Jesus. This babe came into the world with a message, and the whole of heaven was filled with the angels singing glory to God, because this babe came to bring goodness and cheer and peace, love and joy. This babe came to remind us of our original goodness that each one of us has. And this babe was so full of goodness that he raised the level of goodness everywhere, even death. And so, my dear friends, this is the moment for you to raise the level of goodness around you. I suggest you spend a few moments right now, along with me. Let us think of how we can raise the level of goodness, at least for one person in this season. Where there's hatred, let me sow love. Where there's injury, pardon. Where there's doubt, faith. Where there's despair, hope. Where there's darkness, light. Amen. The spirit of Christmas is here to stay when we spread goodness every day.
I told you he was a lovely, lovely man. He just proved me right. Father Gerard, the parish priest of St. Peter's. And here's a little secret. He is very powerful in prayer. And if you want him to pray for you, buy him Shrikand. A little secret. A little elf told me that Father really loves Shrikand. You can get it from the corner of St. Peter's and he will send up a special prayer for you. Okay, it's that time of the evening, which is pretty much sign-off time. Oh, man. Having such a great... Oh, yeah, exactly. I feel the same sentiment. But hey, when you've got to go, you've got to go. Okay? Tomorrow we have Vanya, who's, I am told, gonna heat up your screens. Oof, yeah. Wonderfully talented young lady, and she's gonna kind of keep us entertained and stitch the whole evening together. And I'm sure she'll do it very interestingly. I am your host, Brian, and I have really happily, from my heart, hosted evening 7. There are 5 more evenings to look forward to. Okay, before we go, Christmas cards may be a thing of the past, but Christmas greetings certainly aren't a thing of the past. They're a thing of the present, and they're a very special thing over the last 7 days and will be over the next 5, where people send out greetings from where they are to the different corners of the universe. It's that time of the evening, from our home to yours. I'm going to sign off. Tons of love. Stay well, stay healthy, stay safe.